Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Another video, second video in a week, which is incredible considering our record on no productions, which we won't mention any further. Another interview, Leon Balogun. Let's just get straight into it. First of all, how have you finding lockdown? You know, what sort of things are you doing to keep yourself busy?
I'm finding it very annoying.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it in the back there. I got let's see it. There, my bike.
Yeah.
I got that yesterday, finally, after a month of waiting, because everybody has become a fitness guru now since this lockdown has started. So it was very hard to get equipment. And apart from that, I'm just keeping myself busy with exercising indoors or even outdoors and running. Weights with what I can do. Mostly I use my own body weight, core work, abs, push-up, all this kind of stuff. You get creative.
Right, to save myself from embarrassing voice breaks, the question is, for my uni assignment, I'm basically doing racism in football. So I basically asked Leon about his thoughts on it and if he's come across anything in his career.
I've experienced it in the year that I joined Brighton, while still playing back in Germany for Mainz. There was, how long is it? I joined 2018, so I think it was in January or February, 2018. Where my friend, he's also Nigerian, they made like these monkey chants, like a small group of people. We played away in Hanover, and we were just warming up in the second half in front of their stands. In Germany, it's a bit different, like where you warm up. So yeah, I kind of like tried to protect him. Then they went after me as well, and obviously I was facing him because I'm not scared, and I called them out. We played in Hanover. That was my first professional club actually. So I still knew a fair amount of people in the club. So after the match, I decided to speak to some of the officials. I decided to post about it, and then there were. I kind of like. I wouldn't call it a storm, but people did not really want to accept it, which will then later lead me on my thoughts on racism. But I actually had then like people, they were coming after me, young boys, in comments and stuff. It led to the point where I read through of some of them, and like obviously a lot of people were like, yeah, racism, like a racist, like get them out of here. There were some serious swear words on there as well. And then like some of the fans, it's a bit dangerous because it's fans of that other team that try to convince me that it wasn't racist because they have two black players in their team. Both of them I know because they are friends of mine. So I knew that they had special chance for them, and first people thought I was mistaken, but then these little boys or young teenagers, they come up with stuff like, I'm trying to get more publicity by that. Would I do that? And then when other people kind of came to my defense and say like all racists are idiots, then they started to say stuff like, well, if you call people racist, if you call people idiots and other heavy like words, then it's okay to discriminate people because of their religion and their skin color, stuff like that. And that's where you see how even fan culture or being a fan kind of can lead you to just being super stupid and unreasonable, because one thing has absolutely nothing to do with the other. But I lost it a bit. But it's just it's sad because like I think a week later or something, because of so much like reaction against it, kind of people they didn't want to believe it. They were like, no, you're mistaken, it was the chance, and no, we're not racist, nobody has heard anything, blah 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 blah. So I had to actually make a video post through the official channel of my club back then, that I did not mistake like the chance for those two players with racist chants, but that in fact I was insulted and my teammate was insulted. Yeah. And it's really sad. Like that tells you a lot already about the acceptance or how aware people actually are of things. They rather defend something than, or rather like ignore something or talk it away instead of actually tackling it and acknowledging the fact that it's still present. But luckily, a lot of like people were reaching out to that club, Hanover, anonymously, telling the club that they actually have witnessed it, they have seen it, and so at the end, those guys got actually a life ban for the stadium. So that's that. And in general, racism, my thoughts on racism is just something we always say it should not be here anymore, but it is, and it's in little things, you know. You can see it in cartoons everywhere, like all these stereotypes that are out there of the blackface stuff like that. I've seen a little report on a tradition in Holland actually, which has to do with the blackface, where people start to say you can't do this anymore nowadays, especially because of the things that are still happening. And you have it anywhere. Like, but you can, racism is obviously the one that we talk about the most probably, but if you talk about discrimination, because racism is just another form of that, discrimination in general is a big, big, big thing. You can speak about bullying in school. It's, if you think about the gay community in the world, it's like it happens in so many different ways, and it's such a big part of society actually.
Yeah.
And things have become so normal that people just think a lot of things are normal, you know. And that's a big problem, and that's why we still have to face it. It's like you have to educate generations on what actually is acceptable and what is not, because those beliefs, those standards, they come from a time where, well, people clearly made a difference between religion, color, and would act based on that, like violently. And I mean, we still have it today, you know. You don't, it's just not as open. But like, I can talk about this for days. If you look at Japan or China, where they clearly, it's like, if you compare that to the USA, in the USA, they can't do that because of some constitutional rights. But in Japan and China, for example, they clearly tell Black people, for example, we don't want you to live here in that area. We don't want you to go into that restaurant. It's like in the 60s in the United States. You know? That's crazy.
Again, voice break alert. This question is about how the move to Brighton came about and if it was an easy decision to come and play in the Premier League.
Oh yes, easy. It's very, very, very easy, because I always dreamed of playing in it, always. And when I was just in the beginning, like, I think I was 20, 21, playing for Hanover actually. And like, some of the senior players would tell me, you would be perfect for the Premier League because you're so physical. Because back then, people would say, yeah, I still need to learn, to get better technically, like when it comes to the composure on the ball and stuff. But like, just in terms of physicality and everything, I'm amazing. So England would actually be perfect. And yeah, but then I had to wait like 8, 9 more years until that happened. But definitely super, super happy about that move.
So you must have great memories from your debut. Unfortunately, you know, Donkey got injured and you came on against Man United. Can you talk us through that experience, you know, of that game and coming in?
I heard before, because, you know, Pascal Gross, he's German.
Yeah.
So we spoke a lot. And when I came in, he was kind of my guy to lean on a little bit. He would introduce me to everything. And then he would say, hey, you pick the tough plays, you know, with those two, they're kind of indestructible. And I was like, well, let's see. You know, I know that that I will that I will need some patience, but until then, I will try to be ready for that moment. And then if I use my chance, if I do a good job, then hopefully I can change that a little bit. So when Donkey got injured, I remember he was a bit sloppy. I think like he had a bit of a sloppy touch or something that led him into trouble. And then he twisted his ankle in that next challenge, and then he struggled. And they were just like, "Yeah, go warm up." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's see." And then I could come back. And I don't know, someone else told me, or maybe I remember Pascal's words, that basically they're just indestructible because Donkey kept on playing. But then he kept like touching his ankle, and then our head physio Adam, he was like, Leon, go, he's struggling, like, get warm, get warm. And then all of a sudden they said, come. And I was like, oh my God, it's about to go down. And obviously that is something where you're excited for that, but then again, you start to think, like, not everybody's like that, but I'm like that. So I started to think, so, wow, Man United, no, Premier League debut, at home, first time the fans really get to see me. And it's no, you come in as a centre half with a big responsibility, you know? So I was like, okay, like, it's for me, at least, I think a lot of players are like that. You're just like, okay, you want to get in there and just hope that you, like, just suit in from the start. And yeah, luckily that happened. I think I won my first challenges. I know the first one was against Lukaku straight, who felt like he weighs the world. And no, but it was an amazing experience, because also I think I came in around, what, 25th minute or something.
Yeah, somewhere there.
And I think when I came on, that's when we started winning, actually. That's when we started, that Glenn scored the first goal. I don't know how many minutes later. Then we scored. Then Shane scored from a corner, I remember. No, that was insane, you know, to come into that game. Because if you come in as an attacker, you don't have as much responsibility when it comes to losing a game necessarily. You know, you have your parts to do, but if I would have messed up anything, it hurts. So no, that was amazing. Then to get 2 goals in straight, to celebrate like with the fans, like, it was just insane. And I remember second half, I think I chased down Rashford on the sideline.
Yeah.
So if they attacked, like, our fans, like you guys actually, and I was on the right side, on our left side, and I just, like, tracked him down and got the ball off him before the sideline. And then there was one guy on the sideline, because I think I flicked the ball against his leg, won the throw in first, and there was one guy on the side. I was like, oh my God, you're f***ing amazing. I was like, wow. You know, because in Germany, the fans are not that close. So I got the full Premier League the experience, like all the positives that you can get in that day actually already.
So one game that must stick out in your memory is the Palace home game. Can you talk us sort of through, you know, how that happened? You come on and you score the volley. You know, it must have been a great story.
Light work. I do that in training all the time. No. Yeah, it was like, I mean, by that time I had learned that Donkey and Duffy are pretty much indestructible, or also, even if they are serious damage, that the manager would still stick to them most of the time. So it was a period where I was like, not frustrated, but because it was still my first half of the season, but I was like, well, I should have had some more games by now, you know?
Yeah.
But still, I just enjoyed it. I remember it was very cold, and I just knew that normally nothing happens as a center half. You normally don't come on, you know, normally. But then, Duffus had his little situation with the Hollywood actor Van Arnold. It was so, oh my God, it was so dramatic. I've seen it the other day and I was like, what the heck is this guy doing? Seriously. Anyway, he got sent off. I didn't even have time to warm up, you know, because it was a red card. So I just had to jump in, being cold. You know, every now and then, you know, we just run a few, like, I don't know, 5 minutes up and down, but that does not really get you on. So yeah, I just got in. I was like, got out of the warm coat and everything, you know, got onto the pitch, and yeah, Solly hit the corner. Not ideally, actually, they deflected, but I anticipated the ball moving kind of. And yeah, then I just volleyed it in, and that was just insane. I think the guys, they kept like winding me up with it, because they said, where are you running to? Where did you run to? I didn't know what to do. I was just like sailing off, you know, and it was incredible. First touch, first Premier League goal in the derby at home. Insane. Seriously, it was just insane.
Obviously, you speak about Duffy and Dunk there. That sort of leads me on to the next question. Obviously, you would have liked to have played, you know, more throughout the season. You know, but how good was the partnership between them? And was it just a case of sort of training hard and just pushing them all the way?
No, because I don't play to put, like, I don't play football and train to push anyone. I mean, that's the side effect, but I don't train for someone else to be better. I train for myself to be better, and I train so I play and to get better, you know. So, but that was the positive side effect, because then on the other hand, I'm not the kind of guy I never caused any kind of trouble, you know. I had I had conversations with the gaffer telling him that this is not really satisfying for me, but he knew and he would see that like I never let my head down on anything, you know. And definitely, I'm sure this is something those guys profited from. I think one of them or both said it at one point. Actually, no, it was after the Liverpool game. Shane told me, "Hey, if you keep playing like that, you're gonna bench me once Donkey comes back." You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously he was never in danger, but no, it was just for me. Obviously, they've had played for how many years together already? Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, about 4 now.
Yeah, and so that is always something. I have the same thing in the national team of Nigeria. You know, it's something where if a manager knows, okay, that works, especially in such a responsible position, then you will stick to that kind of. That doesn't mean that it's always fair or always the right thing, but from that point, I understand it. From my point of view, I might have a different opinion, but I always push hard in training, and I think the fact that I did not let myself down probably, if and even if it was just subconsciously, helped them to stay on top of their game. You know.
So, you know, similar to last season, you know, you haven't played as much this year either, apart from a couple of cup games. You know, how difficult has that been as well?
This for like the past 6 months or like the first half of that season, that was hard. That was just frustrating because I came late back from the tournament with Nigeria, and I knew that I would have to stand in line for then. But I thought, well, okay, being playing with from what I heard with like a back five or back three, I thought, well, that increases my chances, you know. And then just with how the whole thing went, I came back and I just wanted to know how things are looking out for me. And from what I was told at first, it was like that they're happy to have me back. So with the new manager and everything. But then pretty soon after that, then there was another center half that was brought in Adam Webster.
Yeah.
And that was a sign already. But then, though, like throughout the whole first half of the season, I pretty much learned more and more that I could pretty much do everything that I wanted, and it wouldn't change a bit. So that was for me the point where it started to get frustrating, you know. And even then, I never let my head down, but it got to me more, you know, because you work hard, you do extras, and you ask what you can do. I don't know, I played for the under 23s and stuff like that, and nothing would help, you know. And then at the peak probably was that I got subbed off in the last cup game, where I actually ended up playing as a right fullback, which I haven't played for ages. Then thinking about that, I haven't really played all season. That was really tough to take, and that day was really the point where it got me thinking like, okay, you definitely like, I'm a bit of a dreamer, maybe I was hoping that maybe still things could turn around, that I could use that cup game, but that was like pretty much that last. Yeah, it felt that day really felt like a slap in the face. I can say that openly. It was just because I would know, like, if in the cup game, even there, I'm only getting to play 45 minutes, well, then I might as well try to find an exit, you know, and go somewhere where I feel like that this is really, or I'm really being wanted or appreciated. And that's the sad part about it, because I was always like super happy with the group and in the dressing room and everything. Always been a positive character around the whole club. So that was a bit hard, you know, that there I realized that I will probably just have to do something else, because otherwise maybe I would have lost my head. I don't know. But
So obviously, you know, you've gone on loan to Wigan. I think you've done pretty well as well. You know, how would you sort of describe your form and experiences of playing in the Championship?
my form, I think, has been very, very good. Let me think. I played 6 games. I haven't lost a single one. I think we had 4 clean sheets, 3 wins, 3 draws. Well, I'll take that, you know. and we managed as a group to get out of the drop zone. So that was pretty good. Obviously, what helped me was Wigan, the club, the manager, the whole team. It's a great atmosphere there. When I joined, I didn't feel any kind of, like, normally when you join these teams, and I have been in teams like that actually myself, and you have other players coming in at the half of the season who then tell you, oh my God, the vibe here, the atmosphere is so negative and everything. I did not feel that at all when I joined Wigan. It was super positive. I thought maybe even they're a bit too laid back, But I think this is what actually helped us now to turn things around, because they just needed that one moment where just they have that bit of luck, where I'm watching Vikings right now, so I'm gonna say where the gods are on their side. So and that happened, and I'm happy that I could be part of that. And then we just worked to keep that momentum going. And for me personally, it has been reviving, because obviously I have some experience and I know that I have quality, but looking at the 6 months before at Brighton, I slowly started to doubt that, because if you do whatever, you try whatever you can and nothing works, nothing improves your situation, then you start to doubt. That's just natural and human. So that was really, really, really good. And that's why it's even worse that this gets now interrupted with this whole madness.
So finally, my last question: when we can resume football, what's sort of the plan for you? Obviously, if the season finishes, you'll finish it with Wigan. But what are you sort of looking forward to, next year and in the years going on?
Just playing football. That's all. I just want to play. That is something that I really, really missed. Like playing regularly, being part of something actively, without just maybe being there for guys or whatever. Because that's at Brighton, as you said, I haven't really played much. I was kind of trying to be positive all the time, deal with my own situation, but at the same time, like push the other guys. But now I can actually do something on the pitch, have an impact, and be of value. And that is just something I'm looking forward to. And then in whatever constellation that might be, I just want to enjoy playing football, because I've really, really missed it over probably the past year, pretty much.
Right, thanks, mate. I've really, really enjoyed talking to you.
You're welcome.
So I hope you have a good day, and make sure everything stays safe, and hopefully we can play football soon.
Oh, hope so too, but I don't think so, actually.
So there we go, guys. Another interview done. Huge thanks to Leon for that. Really great guy. Really enjoyed talking to him. Again, normal YouTube stuff. Just like, subscribe for more. Any comments and stuff, of who you want me to interview next. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.